friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
And we are just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And now it's time for movie news, reviews, and pulp culture discussion. Hocus Pocus 2 is coming to Disney Plus next year, and Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy will all be coming back.
Yay! I love that show.
So I have to confess, I've never seen Hocus Pocus.
You will love it.
It always seems so... At the time it came out, I remember thinking, that just looks silly. And then I just never...
It's good.
Thought to go back and never watch it. So it's just funny? Is that right?
Yeah, it's funny and it's good. I like it.
Are they playing sisters, friends?
The three are sister witches, and they come back. There was somebody found this book, and there was a spell that brought them back to the time.
Oh, so they're from the
past.
past.
Halloween. They're from the past.
Okay, and they're brought back on Halloween. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to make sure. I'm sure it'll...
And
actually, it's probably on Disney
all
Plus.
So funny. Like Sarah Jessica Parker is pretty cute, and Kathy Najimy is hysterical. She's so funny. And Bette Midler, of course, she's the main sister, and it's so good.
Okay, I bet Disney Plus probably has the first one. So
you can get that, and they play it all the time during Halloween. Scenes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. A biopic about the singer Cher's life is in the works from the producers of Mamma Mia.
Oh my gosh.
She's fully on board with this in terms of having her story told, so I think this is going to be great.
This will be good.
When a real life person says yes and they're involved with the script and the fact that same producers of Mamma Mia and she was in Mamma Mia too, I think it'll be great. I'm excited about that. So can't wait to see who they cast as her.
Right.
I can see her playing herself when she gets older, but just for the younger stuff.
Huh.
It's like, who will play her? Who will play Sonny Bono? Who will play her daughter that then turned into a man?
Huh.
Like all those things. It's
interesting. Right.
Interesting life there.
Yeah, for sure.
Timothy Chalamet has been cast as Wonka, as Willy Wonka in the movie Wonka, which is the origin story of the chocolate factory candy creator. So I love Timothy Chalamet. He is the young man who was in like Call Me by Your Name. He was in that drama with Steve Carell where he was like the drug addict. Crap, what was the name of that? I can't remember right now.
It was Steve Carell.
Yeah, I played his dad.
Who was his mom? Julia Roberts?
No, it was, I can see her. She was the one that was in the TV show The Affair.
Oh.
She hasn't done a whole lot. That's why her name is not coming out to me. Anyway, and he's soon to be in the upcoming Dune as well. The lead in Dune. He's taking over the Kyle McDermott role that was in that original one. Anywho, we love Willy Wonka. It's going to be interesting to explore how he was as a youngin', so.
Yeah, how was he as a youngin'?
Right? Like, okay, so looking forward to Wonka. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who also would have been a good Wonka if he was younger, will play former Uber CBO Travis Kalanick in the Showtime series Super Pumped. I know nothing about the Uber CEO, or as I say, the former, because he's not in charge anymore. Wow. So it's interesting that there's going to be a series based upon him. I'm like, what's the controversy?
Just like Facebook.
Right? I just hadn't heard about any of the controversy around this gentleman, so I'm not sure. Guess I'll have to Google it, so I'm not sure why it would be interesting. Monarchy drama The Red Queen is coming to the Peacock Network. Now, this was a book. It will star Elizabeth Banks, who will also executive produce it. Now, this is about our world set in the near future where democracy is replaced by a monarchy.
Now, wasn't there, I think I watched The White Queen.
Yes, on Stars.
And a White Queen.
On Stars, yeah.
I swear this was The Red Queen.
No,
was it The White Queen?
Because, right, The White Queen was the first one. And then there was one that followed her daughter called The Spanish Princess or something like that. Oh,
that's right. So it was The White Queen.
So there was a series on NBC, I want to say maybe a decade ago, called Red Widow. But again, a whole different mindset. It was about mobsters, I remember.
No. But that was a good show, though. The one on Stars.
Oh, yes, that White Queen, yeah.
White Queen. That was really good. I really enjoyed that one.
It was a good show.
At least I thought. I do like monarchy movies, so.
So, yeah, that should be cool. And being on the Peacock, It's unclear if that will. I'm sure you probably have to have the Peacock Premium to see it, not the Peacock that's free.
Right.
So, I myself I had just downloaded recently just the Peacock network since I recently got rid of my cable, so I have just the free version. But I know I'm gonna have to upgrade to the premium once Yellowstone comes back, or I'll never get to watch it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap. It's only $4.99 a month, so I could pay for it for whatever 3 months while that show's on, and then get rid of it again. I guess.
And do we know when it's coming back?
Nope, they're still filming.
Oh shoot.
So
That's
yeah.
all right. I'll be patient.
Right. And finally, Amazon has just bought the rights to MGM. Or they have bought MGM for $8.45 billion.
Can you believe that?
Crazy.
I heard that this morning.
And so MGM has over 4,000 movies and 17,000 TV shows in their arsenal that now Amazon now has access to distribute for us to watch. I mean, MGM, just for instance, they own all the James Bond movies, so now they will be raking in all that James Bond money when like the newer stuff comes out.
Wow.
So right, that's
$8.45
billion.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Jeez, Jeff Bezos, the fact that you have that much
Why
money.
doesn't he just donate that to the government? I mean, we need that money.
Right, that's true. They do need some help.
I guess he won't get any of it back.
That's so funny. So movies and TV shows out this week. We have A Quiet Place 2.
Yay.
This is in theaters only, and it's starring Emily Blunt again, and just the follow-up to the Abbott family. But they are now venturing out into the outside world and have to deal with not only the creatures attracted to sound, but the people that are left in the world.
That's what we have to go see.
So, I've never seen the first one.
You haven't? Oh, you need to see it. Because
I've
I
never
would
seen
love to see that.
I've never seen that first one, so I've heard good things. But again, another one when it first came out, it just didn't look that interesting to me, so I just never bothered. Also, Cruella. This will be in theaters and also on Disney Plus. But on Disney Plus, you will have to pay the $30 premium fee to watch it. So this is starring Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. And this is just a prequel about a young Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. It looks really
Basically
good.
how she gets to where she is.
Right. It looks really good. Some early reviews are saying it's a cross between Devil Wears Prada and Joker.
Oh,
Like,
you're
that's,
kidding.
right. Like, that's
I
interesting.
can see that.
Right? So,
It'll be interesting how she goes from early Cruella to Disney Cruella.
Right.
How does she become animated? That's what I'm interested in.
right? How does that work? How do you go from leaving real life to the animated life?
Yes, I
Good
know.
question.
I kind of like that.
Good question. Friends, the reunion is being released on HBO Max. So if you were a Friends fan, this is all of them reuniting, talk about old times. There's some surprise guests that will pop in to reminisce with them. So if you have HBO Max and you love them, please check it out.
Yay.
Panic. This is a new series on Amazon, and this is also based off a book in the YA universe. So it's about every summer in a small Texas town, graduating seniors compete in a series of challenges which they believe is their only chance to escape their circumstances and make their lives better. I have to say, I watched the trailer on this. I was curious when I saw it. It's like Survivor for teenagers.
Yeah.
It's like, at one point someone's trying to run away from a freaking tiger. I was like, one's doing like a tightrope, like from building to building.
Oh, wow.
All to like get this money to win to get out of this town. It seems crazy. Like there has to be some other way.
It's like Hunger Games type of thing.
Right, but set in the now without crazy costumes. So I might have to check out at least the
And
first
it's
to see.
based on a book.
Yeah, it was a book that came out. I think it was like 3 years ago. Was all
Interesting.
Panic, so we'll see. So what we've been watching this week, I watched season 2 of Who Killed Sarah on Netflix. So I really did enjoy it. It did answer the question of who killed Sarah finally. So I'm glad we got closure on that. But at the end, of course, it did say season 3 is coming. So, because there was still more questions posed. But my main thing was, at least can we finally find out who did her in?
Yeah.
I saw it, so I wanted to know like who did her in. So it did
good.
answer that. It got even more soapy, if it's possible, in season 2 from season 1. So
Oh, you're kidding.
yeah, like so there were some other twists thrown in there, and I did not guess who the person or persons were who did the deed. So it was good for me when you don't know what's coming. I like that. Then I also watched Army of the Dead. This is a movie on Netflix that starred Dave Bautista from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So I did not enjoy this, unfortunately. I thought it moved very slow. This movie was 2.5 hours. It did not need to be 2.5 hours. And I'm someone who actually likes zombie movies. I thought it was going to be funny because, after there's like a not comedy drama, a comedy action, kind of like the Zombieland, but it just wasn't. It wasn't funny. The storyline honestly made no sense. It just moved slow. So
you're gonna go with a one wine cork on that one?
So I'll give it 2 wine corks because the visual effects were nice.
Oh, okay. was it a comedy?
It was supposed to be a comedy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Things happen where I was just like, I can tell that it was supposed to be funny, but it just didn't land with me.
But it didn't happen?
It wasn't landing with me, so yeah. So 2 wine corks, folks. So watch at your own risk.
Okay, well, thanks for the warning. It comes with a warning. And I watched this week Those Who Wish Me Dead on HBO Max. You watched it last week, and I believe it was last week.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed this show. There were some questions posed as to, what the dad, because we know that there's a boy who's lost in the wilderness, and there's a raging fire coming at it, but there's all these circumstances that lead up to that, and you're kind of, we never really did find out the who and the why of the dad, but I guess aside from that, I kind of almost forgot about that and got caught up in the action of what was going on.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I liked it. I think it's definitely something I would check out on HBO Max. I don't know that I'd want to pay,
to go see it in the theater.
$15 to go to the movie theater, but I did enjoy it, and of course Angelina Jolie looks amazing and continues to look younger. So
right,
she was great. And then we just can't have a segment without my creepy stuff, right?
Right.
Just can't. So there's a documentary on Hulu called H.H. Holmes, the original evil. And if any of you know what who H.H. Holmes was, he was actually the first serial killer, United States, and he killed so many people. He was convicted of all these deaths, but he was convicted of 27, which he actually, caught to. But there's so many more people who are missing that they never did find bodies for. They don't know what happened. But he was kind of that, excuse me, that linchpin, so to speak. I mean, he was the guy that they were last seen with. There was always his name came up in the circles. So from children to adults, it didn't matter who it was. And he built this hotel, which they called it the Murder Hotel, in Chicago at the time of the World's Fair. So it all kind of went hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so he could pick his victims. And, they did not. He had all these contractors who built the hotel, but he never let the same ones, no one had floor plans.
Oh, okay.
The same ones worked on it, very limited. They had very limited access to it because no one for sure could say, where does this hallway go to? What floor does this do?
Right.
And it was just crazy. If you are interested in this guy or want to know more, I would definitely recommend seeing this because there's an interesting twist. There's some hypotheticals out there that there's a possibility that he was Jack the Ripper because he was in London at those times, and the way he killed his victims in his murder house versus what was done to the ones in London, very, very similar. So
okay.
it would be interesting if they could pin this one on him, but
right,
I just don't
that's
know.
true.
I mean, the 1800s, it's like, where are the videos? So anyway, I enjoyed this one. It was a very different type of guy, documentary. But there's also a book out. It's called Devil in the Windy City, based on this. And you have brought up that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to either play this or he was going to produce it.
Right.
So I'm really hoping this movie comes out. So
yeah, that's true. It'd be interesting to see him play it. For sure.
I know, and I have been drinking quite a bit of wine this week.
Well, that's good. I'm still dry.
Oh man, I have gone through bottles, and I am telling you, I've had some amazing wines, but just the last few nights, I've had Kendall Jackson Cabernet. That's a good one. You can write that down.
Jackson.
Kendall Jackson they have amazing Chardonnays, amazing Pinot Grigios, and their Cabernet is really good. So I would say Kendall Jackson.
Well, I did just buy the decoy cab this past weekend, so I'll finally drink some of that this weekend.
I think you'll
and let
like
you know.
it.
Then I can try a different cab because this is my first real journey into Cabernets. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, you never did say what would you rate the Those Who Wish Me Dead though?
Oh, I would give it 3.5 stars.
Okay.
I'm going to go right down the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like Academy Award winning.
Right.
But then again, I'm not, who knows what they picked, but I did enjoy it. So.
Okay, good. And now we have a new series we're going to start. It won't be weekly, but we'll just do it every couple episodes. But we're calling it Clickbait Reality TV. So first up, we are into I should say I'm the one that's into all the housewives except for New Jersey for the most part. But Rochelle at least will watch the Beverly Hills Housewives and occasionally the New York ones. So we're just going to focus on those two as far as the Housewives series. So the Beverly Hills Housewives just started last Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So we've missed them. They're very entertaining.
I love them. If you just need something mindless and you think, I mean, you just can't really take your eyes off of it. You're just mm-hmm. going, people live this way and they argue about these things.
Right.
It's
yeah.
just so silly.
Like they're one of the few of the Housewives franchises where it's like, they have this money. Most of them are actually married on this particular series, and it's what they do with it and just how they act is very interesting. If I had to pick a favorite housewife in terms of on Beverly Hills, I'd probably pick.
That's hard.
I know, right? I was thinking, who would I pick? But I'm thinking I would pick our newest housewife, Sutton.
Oh.
So she's interesting. She's she started out just as kind of like a guest, I guess you could say, of the series. She wasn't really like a main member, but she's grown on me. She's quirky, but she's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I agree with you on that. I really like Sutton, but I also like Kyle.
Okay.
She's just been there from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched her shows from the past because she was in Escape to Witch Mountain. Her and her sister Kim.
Oh, right.
From the beginning, and she was also in Halloween. She
was
right,
yeah,
with Jamie Lee Curtis actually a few times. So
that's true. Also with New York, I love them too. They have more. I'd say darker drama than say the Beverly Hills. I mean, they deal with their real issues. I mean, alcoholism, jail, nudity here and there.
They're a crazy
So
bunch.
they are a crazy bunch. They're a little bit more toned down now that Dorinda isn't on this season, but
it's still polished. I don't think.
No,
like Beverly Hills Housewives, I think they're a bit more polished.
That's true.
Than, they.
No, that's true.
I just think New York is just so rawr.
Right. Which is funny because Ramona on there's always trying to be elegance, class. Oh, same with Luann. I mean, she had a whole book about elegance and class.
They're just not.
And it's just not that way. Maybe in the beginning they were, and it just kind of went downhill.
Oh yeah.
From there, and for that group, I'd have to say my favorite housewife on there is, it's actually Sonia. She's just so funny. She's a sloppy mess. Don't get me wrong. She can be a sloppy mess, and unfortunately, this season's no different. But I like her because she's real. She's really down to earth because it's how she is, warts and all.
Yeah.
It's she doesn't really hide it or try to. This is me. I'm not the greatest.
Yeah, that's true. I like Luann. I kind of think she's that way too. She's had a bout with alcoholism and she'll be, going along just fine, and then all of a sudden it's like, I gotta have a drink. So, and she's been in jail for that.
Right. And so far so good this season, but it's you can tell she's struggling, especially when she gets around the girls, and unfortunately Sonia had an issue in the first, second episode, and it was just, Luann was trying hard to cope. She was like, I don't know if I can be around you guys are so crazy. Anyhow, so hopefully she's okay. But so enjoy the Housewives, and again, I watch Atlanta as well. I watch Potomac, and I also watch Orange County. I'm not as on Orange County as I am with the rest, making sure I watch it on a weekly basis. But I'll catch it here and there when the season's on. So, Also, in more Rochelle's world, we have The Bachelor and Bachelorettes. The new season is starting, I think, is it next month sometime?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so, but, as she can tell you, it's just, that's one she's a fan of reality
Well, and I'm
TV-wise.
really excited because, I know there are a lot of people who watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, but Matt and Rachel, who was the person he picked, and then there was all this controversial stuff going on, even though you could tell she was just so in love with him. They are together and they're trying to make it work, so I'm happy about that.
I did see that in the media.
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
So,
and you like the new Bachelorette they're going to use?
yeah, I guess. I don't know. There's two of them.
I know there's two, but they're starting with the one. Do you like both of them?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know for sure. It surprised me who they picked, but I don't know. I can't decide. I'm also getting to the point where they keep getting younger and younger and more drama, and anyway, I don't know.
That's true. As we get older and the contestants get younger, it's like you're not as invested.
I'm over it.
I get you. You're not as invested. There's another show out there that's I've always been a fan of called The Real World. So I started watching The Real World when it first ever came on back in the late 90s, or maybe it was mid 90s. I wouldn't say it was late 90s, but and now they have the original first New York cast. Called New Beginnings, where they got to come back after all this time and just be in the same penthouse again, loft, and just see where their lives have taken them. And it's just so interesting to see what happened with all of them and how they are. And some of them, unfortunately, haven't grown much or changed. It's unfortunate, but it's still nice just to see where they ended up. So I've really enjoyed watching that series, and that's on the Paramount Network. For those, if you're interested and you have Paramount. It's a really good thing to revisit. They ended up putting, I noticed, all of the former seasons of of The Real World onto the Paramount, so you can always go back and watch them. I stopped after, I want to say it was season 4, because I remember watching season 3, which was in San Francisco, and I think I watched season 4, which was, I did, Vegas. After Vegas, I kind of dropped out. I guess I got older and I didn't care as much. But it was always a good time. It was just very interesting to really see people who don't know you don't know them at all. They're just thrown in this thing and see what happens. So it's
kind of like Big Brother.
Yeah, and so it was just interesting. They weren't forced to do any type of games or compete for any type of prize. They honestly were just there to live their life and then see what happens. Now, I do know from watching this other series that Andy Cohen hosts on E! Called The Story of Reality that sometimes the producers would put something, maybe like a random book or, some object in the house to get the conversation going. So it was just really interesting because I just liked how it was just them trying to be themselves and see how they get along. Also, there was Shaw's of Sunset, which I started watching last week, and this is, all in the Peruvian world. It's so cool. It's just I just like it. I ended up having some friends in my early 20s that were of that descent, and it's just interesting because they really are like outrageous, seriously love gold. That's true. Love to throw random club parties at the time for no reason. It's just they're always up for a party. They would always provide, and
they have lavish parties.
Right. They'd always provide the alcohol. It was a good time. I can honestly say I lived in my early 20s. It was a good time, and they were a big part of it. So hey, watching Shaw's of Sunset is just entertaining to see more of that and how they exist in LA, which of course is even more over the top than anybody in Utah could possibly be. That's not a show you ever looked at, has it?
No, I have, but I have not watched it through. It's kind of silly to me. But,
okay.
But it's funny. The ones I've seen, I think, is hysterical. I thought it was super funny.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's just one more I don't really need to get
true.
into.
That's true.
But I do like the next one.
Lastly, we'll touch on $1 Million Listing. I watched New York and
LA.
Yes, and LA. But right now, New York is the one that's airing. And I just who knew that I'd be so interested in watching real estate in the millions of dollars that obviously I'm never going to be in. But it's
the homes are incredible in the apartments.
It's just,
It is. That's what and what fascinates me are the real estate agents and the deals that they put together.
right?
You know?
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
I remember when I first watched it, just being like surprised. I don't know why I was surprised, but how picky rich people can be.
Oh yeah.
In terms of what they're willing to sell their place for. It's like, and then if they're trying to buy something, what they want for the money. It's like, really? Sometimes I'm just like, this is what being like.
And this is why people don't like rich people.
Right, exactly. That was my take. It's like, listen. Anywho, so, but yes, enjoy $1 Million Listing. I guess, yeah. If you've never seen it, I really highly suggest you watch one of them because you'd enjoy it. I promise. Especially if you're HGTV watchers and just like house hunters and stuff, you'll like.
Oh yeah, it's
you'll,
very.
Yeah.
My husband is a real estate appraiser, and so I'll be watching this, and he'll kind of like, you know, maybe walk in the room or something, and he'll be watching it going, that's just crazy. But he'll, you know, I think it's kind of fun because he'll call out what the price is, what he thinks the price is. He's usually right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That could be fun then. Now it's time for our series trailer talk. So first up, Eternals. This is out November 5th, and it stars Gemma Chan, Angelina Jolie, Richard Madden, and Kit Harington. Those last two, as you may know, are from Game of Thrones, and they played brothers. It's so cute they're in something else again. Anywho.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this looks good to me, but you know I'm always up for Marvel movies, and this is part of their new slate of Marvel movies. This is a group I've never heard of, but the show looks really cool to me. It's very, you know, surreal. Futuristic. I mean, was just a teaser trailer, so it doesn't show you really what the story is about. But just from what I see, I'm just interested. And there's all those good people in it.
Yes, I know.
You know, so.
Well, and there's Angelina Jolie.
Right.
Just coming back.
Yep, there she's in something else. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So
and Kit Harington, be still my heart.
Right? Yeah. I hope he keeps. Yeah.
Jon Snow.
He needs to keep acting. So hopefully this is the first of many movies he'll be coming out in. So. Yes, looking forward to that. Next is Gunpowder Milkshake, weirdest title ever, but this is coming out July 14th. And this stars Karen Gillan from Jumanji, Lena Headey, also from Game of Thrones, Angela Bassett, who honestly needs no introduction, and then Paul Giamatti and Michelle Yeoh. So this is very action-packed. I mean, it got you from the start. Again, I love all the actors in it. So it looks like a group of female assassins who are just basically trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one makes the mistake of, looks like killing someone she shouldn't have, intervenes for a kid not to get killed, and then, you know, goes out and finds her mom, and then her mom and company help her, you know, like I said, just basically trying to stay alive. So it looks really good. Lots of action.
I think so too. It looks, I mean, the Gunpowder Milkshake title, I just kind of was like, that doesn't even sound good to me. And then I saw who was in it, and Lena Headey, who played Cersei in Game of Thrones, and I'm like, yeah. And I also love Paul Giamatti, so.
Yes, that's
so
true.
I'm good. Yeah, this could be a good one.
Right. And that comes, like I said, it comes out July 14th. So the trailer just, you know, recently dropped, but I'm surprised it comes out already in July. So usually it's further out than that.
I think they're pumping these things out now.
Right? Been, in lockdown.
Kind of a dry spell.
That's true. And finally, The Protege. This will be out August 20th, and it stars Maggie Q, best known as Nikita, and also she was in Designated Survivor. Then you have, of course, Samuel L. Jackson and Michael Keaton.
One of my faves.
Michael Keaton, we haven't seen. I feel like we haven't seen Michael Keaton since.
That stupid bird show.
No, since then he was in Spider-Man, the newer Spider-Man.
That's right.
So
that was a dumb show, the Birdman.
Oh, so right. I just remember, in the Spider-Man movie, he was playing. Wasn't Garcelle the wife in that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, funny. I was just thinking that. I was like, wait, wasn't she the wife? Yeah,
also
she was.
in Housewives of Beverly Hills.
That's right. It's like that's right. She played his wife in that. Anywho, I digress. So The Protege looks really good. Another action-packed assassin movie. Yeah. So I really enjoyed Maggie Q and Nikita. So no surprise that I think she will more than hold her own probably in this movie. The trailer looks awesome in terms of the action. So. Do
you know if any of these are on HBO Max as well?
No, they're all being promoted to be in theaters only. Right. So that's good. How it seems to be going lately is they're in theaters at least for a month, and then they end up having it on demand availability. where you have to pay. But yeah, they'll at least all be in theaters only originally. So
Yeah.
these are
Things
3
heating
ones,
up.
right? Finally, yep. Theaters are raring to go back and
Yeah, and things
they're
are heating up. So
pumping out the movies. So we're
please go out and
excited,
support the movie theaters.
right? Please.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you had fun, and of course, we enjoyed it as well. Monday is Memorial Day, so hopefully you can go out to the movies and see some good shows.
Right.
There's some good ones out there, so please go support the movie theaters, as we said earlier. And please give us a review or comment, as it really does help us out. And you can follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.